Hey everybody, it's Tarkan. Welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about money, as you probably can tell from the title of this video. It's something I don't talk about a lot on this channel, but I decided this is a good time to talk about money and maybe do some more videos on that subject, because you know, one of the major challenges that people are facing right now with this whole lockdown situation is challenges with their finances. And you know, like I said before, this current situation, serves as a backdrop for everybody, as a sort of, like a little mirror, a reflection point to tell them what they've been really, believing about certain aspects of their lives, where they have the most limiting beliefs, where they have the most resistance going. For a lot of people, it's in their health sector. A lot of people, it's in their love and relationships. For a lot of people, it's in their money and finances sector. For a lot of people, it's about freedom. But of course, that's more of an umbrella term, something that money can stand in for, right? So for instance, and health can stand in for, right? For instance, having travel restrictions, but also having restrictions to do with money. Money can help you do things and buy experiences and have more freedom of movement and maybe even a little more peace of mind, because that's another thing that money tends to stand in for or symbolize for people, is their sense of security, okay? And like I always say, and it's true across the board, guys, for anything that you want to manifest, and I'll keep saying it, you're really using those things that you want the most in life as stand-ins, as symbols of a state of being that you're trying to achieve. So for a lot of people with money, we can identify a couple of themes that money symbolizes for people. So one of them would be security. Another one would be freedom, right? Independence, okay? So a lot of what's going on right now is highlighting for each and every one of us what we have the most resistance about. But of course, that gives us the opportunity to hammer that stuff out. So we go, oh, my money sector is suffering the most during this, so I must have some limiting beliefs about money, or some misunderstandings about money, or some ideas about money that I've been practicing for far too long, that keep me sort of in this particular financial, this kind of income bracket that I'd rather not be in, or where I might have money, but then it flies out the window the moment I have it. I seem to have no control over it. It seems to, flow right through my fingers like water. A lot of that really, if you're struggling with money, especially right now, during the whole lockdown thing, you'll probably struggle with it even in normal times, whatever that means, normal. If you're struggling with health the most right now, you probably struggle with the ideas about your health in other times as well, or love and relationships, or your ideas about freedom and things like that, independence, right? Feeling trapped, whatever it is, okay? So that's an important thing that money to understand. I'll get into these points. We have 5 principles of money that we're going to cover here that are going to help, once you sort of internalize them, that will help you have a better understanding of money and what it really means in manifesting terms, right? And how to really wrap your mind around it, and what new beliefs to practice and understand about money that will, that will get you much better results, okay? So we'll get into that as I go through my little list of five principles here. Number 1, you gotta love money, okay? You gotta love money. So money operates on energy, just like everything else does, just like people do, okay? If this is a video about, hey, how to manifest your ex back, how to manifest that specific person, it would be the same principle. You got to send them love. You got to have good thoughts about them, right? If you're focusing only on the negative aspects of them, or the negative aspects of your past relationship with them, then of course, those are the aspects that are going to keep manifesting for you, that are going to keep growing and keep being highlighted in your physical experience. Well, with money, it's the same principle. Just because money is not a person, there is a consciousness that permeates even money, like it does all things, right? Even objects. We're all part of the same energy field. People, animals, things, money, all that stuff is part of the same energy field. So money is energy. So if you give love to money, right? If you make money your friend and you become friends with it, it will want to be near you. Like attracts like. So if you send out love and loving thoughts and good thoughts about money, money's going to want to be in your pocket, okay? Because think about it. If money were a person, would a person that you always talking crap about want to be with you, want to be around you, want to interact with you? No, of course not. To be like that person, that guy hates me. Why would I want to call that guy or hang out with that guy, right? He's always angry at me. He's always criticizing me. He's telling me I'm the root of all evil, right? You've heard these things about money. Now, mind you, all this stuff we've been taught about money for the majority of the population in this country, in the world, this is by design. That's something we can get into later. But really, I think it comes out of mostly the industrial kind of revolution is where this idea really kind of became huge. But even before that, in certain religious traditions, money is the root of all evil. But so then give your money to us, right? That's usually That's usually how that goes. Money's so evil, it's the devil's tool. So why don't you give it to us? We know how to manage it better for you, right? And then, of course, that's why you have all these organizations throughout history becoming ever more powerful and rich beyond imagination, right? Because they keep training you from the time you're in the cradle that you should have a problem with money, that you should see it as your enemy, that you should see it as a tool of the devil, as something evil, something that will make you unhappy. Yeah. So subconsciously, we all have this kind of idea and this training in our mind about this nonsense that money is the root of all evil. Money can't buy you happiness or love. Money is, you have more problems with having money than not having money. And that keeps us all on the dole. That keeps us all working, crappy jobs for next to nothing and being unhappy and never doing what it is that we really want to be doing because we become afraid of having this stuff. And so a lot of times, when we want to manifest money and then we have problems manifesting money, it comes down to an underlying limiting belief that it's really not such a great idea to have money in the first place. So we treat it like a hot potato. If you ever have money or you make a lot of money, you have a windfall, and then you notice it's gone within a week or a month or whatever, you can't seem to ever hold on to it, right? A lot of times you probably have that hot potato consciousness, awareness about money, where you kind of subconsciously are afraid of it. So you get rid of it subconsciously as quickly as possible. Right? It's like people who can't manage their finances tend to spend money as soon as they get it because in their underlying kind of belief system about money, they think that money, it's best to just toss it right back out the window like a hot potato, right? So then they find themselves always stuck in that cycle of having and not having, getting, and then suddenly they don't have it anymore. So, and you notice things will manifest along those lines in your life. You have money, suddenly everyone seems to come out of the woodwork, old creditors, this and that, suddenly your car breaks down, and before you know it, the money's gone. But those are all manifestations, and they're manifestations along the lines of what it is that you ultimately believe about money. If you see money as your enemy, it's not going to want to be around you, like we discussed. It's all energy. So the one thing to really begin to practice and understand is to start making friends with money and just see it as something neutral, okay? Because it is neutral, all right? And that brings us to number 2, actually. Money is neutral. All right, whether good or evil or whatever people do with money, it just depends on what you do with it. It has no inherent opinion about this or that or the other thing. It has no inherent kind of goodness or badness or evilness attached to it. Just like any experience and just like any thing or idea in life, it's really neutral. We put meaning on things, all right? We put meaning on oh, they didn't text me. What does that mean? Well, in our minds, we'll go, well, that means they hate me. They want nothing to do with me. Well, it could be something else, Maybe they lost their phone. Maybe they're busy. Whatever it is. But you see, we put meaning on things. And so for us, whatever it is, whatever meaning we put on that thing or experience is the meaning that we're going to get out of it, is the meaning we're going to experience with it, you see. Right? We can say the whole half empty, half full kind of phenomenon, right? One person sees the glass as half full, the other person sees it as half empty, but it's really just a glass with some water in it. That's all it really is. It doesn't mean anything on its own. Only from the observer's perspective is meaning applied to it, and you are the observer, you are the creator. So therefore, whatever meaning you put on it is the meaning you're going to get out of it, you see. So money is neutral. All right. That's an important thing to understand. So again, when you decide that money's not going to be your enemy anymore, going back to number one, it's not going to be your enemy anymore. You're not going to fight it anymore. You're not going to think of it as the root of evil anymore. You're going to begin to invite it into your life. You're going to begin to think good things about money. Just like you would make a list of positive aspects of your significant other, your specific person, because you want to train yourself to think of them in a positive light, which will make them and influence them to come back into your life in a loving way. You're going to want to do the same thing with money. You know, a really great exercise to do is the same thing. Sit down and write some positive aspects about money. What do you love about money? What does it allow you to do? How does it make you feel to have money, right? How do you want to feel around money? You see, when you stop seeing it as your enemy, and when you stop seeing it as something inherently evil in the world, there are people out there with money that do wonderful, good things with their money, right? Very wealthy people who do that. There's also very wealthy people who do horrible things with money. Again, the money itself isn't doing it. Okay, it's the people, it's the meaning they apply to it, and whatever belief they have going on about themselves, about people, about the world, the nature of things, and about money. Okay, so for you can see money as being something wonderful in your life, something that helps you, that helps your family, that nourishes you, that helps you gain experiences that you want. All right, that helps you have freedom of movement, freedom of action in the world. All right. When you start seeing your money as being your friend and as being inherently neutral, and you're going to now decide and intend that you're going to have a better feeling and a better, more positive idea about money, watch how much easier money will flow into your life. And not only will it flow into your life more easily, it'll want to stay and stick around and grow. You see? So that's very important to understand. I think those two principles are probably the most important of this video to understand, okay? I treat my money very well. So if I have cash in my wallet, I got a very nice wallet. It's one of those zip-up ones. It's a nice leather one. I spent a little money on it because my money is important to me. So I put my money in something very nice because I want to show the money that I cherish it. I'm going to give it a nice little clean home, not some raggedy old wallet with a bunch of, notes and papers stuffed in it, and it's got a hole and it's like 15 years old. No, I'm going to get something nice for my money. And then I take my bills if I have them and I straighten them out, and I straighten out the corners and I organize them so they're all facing the same way. They're all the right side up, and I put the bills there and I put them in that one, and I keep a good flow around it and a good energy around it. And I put it in a certain corner in my house where I have other things, right? So that relating to finances and money, right? Good positive energy that I put into that, good positive feelings that I put into that, so that I'm inviting more money into my life. So that money, energetically speaking, of course, not consciously speaking, but energetically speaking, decides, ooh, that guy likes us. We're going to want to be in his beautiful wallet, in his beautiful house, okay? He takes good care of us. He respects us. He respects money, okay? So then as you respect and love and appreciate the things that you want more of in life, you will have more of those things, including money, all right? So, number 3, I think we're on. All right. Money loves to move. It loves to flow. It doesn't like to be static. Now, here's where a lot of misunderstanding comes about with money, because people go, well, if I don't have a lot of money, why am I going to spend money, right? So the confusion here is often that when coaches like me or whatever say, you got to spend money, you got to keep it flowing. It likes to flow. It doesn't like to be static, or it becomes stagnant, right? Just like water. You don't want to drink from some little puddle, because that's stagnant water. It's probably full of bacteria and stuff. You want fresh water that flows, right? That's always moving, moving, moving. So it is with money. Now, I'm not saying, I don't think any of the other people are saying that you should be spending your money all the time and just throwing it out the window, all right? Spend within your means. But if you do want something and you can afford it, don't be too afraid to spend it. Understand that, when you understand these principles of how money is energy and how energy flows, and if you are giving something or purchasing something with love, all right, then that money comes back to you, and oftentimes it comes back to you, tenfold or 100-fold. And so that every time you spend money, have that little thought in your head that here I'm buying these groceries, but I'm not just, there could be a lot of anxiety around that. Maybe you're worried, oh my God, groceries are going to cost $100. And, most of the time we're okay, but we worry about what's going to happen next week, what's going to happen next month. Things are a little tough right now. Money isn't flowing so easily, so I'm afraid to spend this. So we already attach that fearful energy to the money that we're about to spend on, say, food, okay? But if you turn that around and you understand that, ooh, money likes this though. It likes to be sent off. It likes to be flow. It likes to be passed around, okay? So money's a bit of a whore. All right, that's okay, not in a negative sense, but that just popped into my nut there. Basically, what you want to say to yourself, like, hey, this money I'm about to spend on these groceries, let's say, is going to help all the other people attached to this whole chain of interaction that's going on. It's going to help the people that work here. It's going to help the people that produce the goods, that ship the goods, and I'm helping the economy flow, and I'm helping other people be abundant. Those people are feeding their families with some of this money that I'm spending. And so if I send it off with that kind of energy, with that kind of intention, that money is going to flow back to me, you understand? So it isn't just that the principle of money likes to flow and keep moving is all about it likes to flow out of your hands. No, it likes to flow in and out, in and out, in and out. And if you couple that with the idea of what I said before, that you love and appreciate and respect money, and treat it as your friend and not your enemy, and treat it as a potential force for good in the world and not a potential force for bad and evil in the world, then money, as you spend it, will always want to come back to you. You understand? I think I've talked about this before in a previous video where I played this little happy money game. The idea is to just kind of secretly tuck little dollar bills or $5 bills, away somewhere where somebody else can find it. It's not the same as just giving it directly to somebody, say on the street or whatever it is, or to a friend. Here's $5, because giving is another important aspect of receiving, right? Especially when it comes to money. But the idea with this little game is that, you want to kind of be a little bit cloak and dagger about it. So I would put little dollar bills with little uplifting notes on little, index cards. Like I would roll that up with a rubber band and I would stick it in like an egg carton in the supermarket or somewhere in the shelf in the supermarket, and then just walk away. You don't check to see who picks it up, but you just have fun imagining that somebody finds that money and that they're happy. They read your little note and you've kind of uplifted their day a little bit. And what you're doing with that is that you're using the power of giving and generating love through money, right? Using money to make that energy come back to you, right? To help that energy flow back to you. So giving is another important aspect of this. So while I did this, the first time I did this, I did that in the morning, and then at night, I was just walking and right on the ground in front of me, and there's no one else around. It's just a $1 bill, the same dollar that I had put in my little note and hid in the supermarket earlier that day, just lying there, perfectly flat on the floor, just waiting for me to pick it up. And it's like that same dollar wanted to be back in my pocket, you see. Now, I gave somebody else pleasure, you see. Somebody else had the dollar that I initially gave away, so I didn't have to take the dollar back from them, you understand. That dollar just came from somewhere else. And so if you think, oh, well, someone lost that dollar, now they're out of a dollar. No, they'll get it back too, you see. And they might get it back 10-fold or 100-fold, you see. So understanding that those principles, that really helps you have a better idea and a better consciousness about money that will help not just you be more abundant, but other people in the world and in your life be more abundant as well. All right. So I think that was number 3. All right. Number 4. Money is a renewable resource. This is about abundance thinking versus limited thinking, right? Versus, I'm looking for the word and I can't think of it now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but you get the idea. You want to start having an idea and formulate an idea of abundance, right? Because money, that's another thing that money represents to people, is abundance, all right? And now this is this goes beyond money as well in the world. This idea of lack versus abundance. Lack, that's the word I was looking for. Lack versus abundance. So many of us in the world have been trained and think or trained ourselves into believing that resources are limited, things are limited. Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, you know what? It actually does. It's made out of paper, okay? It literally is trees. But more than that, it's energy, okay? So it's just paper, right? It's just paper. It doesn't have any inherent value. It doesn't have any inherent meaning except the meaning that you apply to it, okay? So money is a renewable resource. And when you think about it, it literally is everywhere. Everywhere. Just walk down the street and think about, all the places that you're walking by, all the stores, the banks, people with money in their pockets. How much money is all around you? It's literally all around you all day long, okay? So when you start formulating that consciousness, that idea about money, that money is a renewable resource, all right? And then you really get to the idea that's the last principle here, which is the fifth principle, which is that money can come from infinite sources. Okay, so these two really go together. I separated them, but they're because it's important to kind of understand them separately, but also to understand how these principles are connected. Because when you have the idea and when you finally realize that you live in an abundant universe, there is no limitation, there is no lack, not just in your money sector, but in your health sector, in your love and relationship sector, in your freedom sector. You can't put a price on these things, all right? No pun intended. There is enough of everything to go around for everybody, all right? Because what are we talking about here, guys? We're talking about energy. Energy is infinite. Energy never runs out. Energy doesn't just dissipate. It's always just flowing through different forms, through different forms, through different forms, through different forms, okay? So money can come in many different ways, and money is renewable all the time. All right. And that's the thing. Money is renewable all the time. It's a renewable resource and it can come from infinite sources. Now consider that too. Think about that for a minute, because our minds, our monkey minds, as I like to call them, for those of you that are new to the channel, the little meat nut that we have up here, I always call it our monkey mind, our ego, whatever you want to call it, has very limited perspective. All right. We see things from one little tiny sliver of reality, little sliver perspective that we see. And we think of maybe 2 or 3 ways that we can make money. Okay, well, I'll have to get a job, or someone has to die and I'll have to inherit that, or I have to win the lottery. But the universal mind can literally think of and come up with infinite ways to bring that money and that abundance to you. Infinite. The infinite. Think about infinite for a minute, okay? That really means never ending. It also means with no beginning. So infinity, when it comes to energy applied to things like money, it's the same principle. It literally never goes away, okay? It just moves around. That's all it does, okay? And even if money is leaving your pocket, more money is going to come into your pocket, and you literally can't ever tell where it's going to come from. When when you try not to worry so much about how you're going to get the money, do the things, okay, go look for a job, try to get a job, but do it because you want to have a good job, because you want to work somewhere that you love, or do the things because you love doing them. The money will come as a result of the love that you put out there, right, for the things that you do. But literally, you could find money on the street. Someone could just give you money. Suddenly, I've had this happen many, many times. There's just a check in the mail. Oh, there was some settlement from some, what is it called? A lawsuit that, class action suit from years ago, and I happened to be a customer with that company, and then they settled, and they're sending me a check. Even if it's $5 or $10, doesn't matter. It's money. Even if you find a penny on the street, express gratitude for that penny. Don't think, oh, it's only a penny. What am I going to do with a penny? Because as you put yourself in receptive mode, more money will come. All right, it'll be more than a penny next time. It could be a $20 bill. It could be a $100 bill. It could be a sack full of $100 bills, okay? It could be anything. You could literally have money that companies owe you from God knows when that you totally forgot about. I moved many years ago, and I was with my phone company, and I looked up this little website and it said, hey, you can search who owes you money. And it turned out that company had owed me money because, I'd canceled the service and already paid the bill or something. So then, and then there was another company and I ended up getting a check for like $150. So money can literally come from any source, okay? If you allow the universe, if you get out of the way with your resistance, you start just appreciating money, the idea of money, okay? You start practicing this idea that it's not inherently evil. I'm going to start having good thoughts about it. I'm going to start making money my friend. And I'm going to get out of the way of the process, okay? Even if I feel that I really need money right now. I practice the idea that I am abundant. I'm an abundant creative being living in an abundant universe where the abundance never ends, where everything is really just energy that flows all the time, that will never die or dissipate, right? When you practice that and you get out of the way, then watch how the universe can conjure up so many ways that you could never imagine with your meat nugget up here, of bringing you that abundance and that money. All right. You'll laugh. You'll laugh all the way to the bank when you realize just how easy it is. Once you just make that little switch and you think about these principles and you try to understand these principles a little bit better and you wrap your mind around them, your mind, your monkey brain will begin to accept that as being truthful in reality, right? That money, you send love to money, that it's inherently good. It can buy you good experiences. It can buy you, happiness and freedom. It can, right? That's another thing. You got to drop these ideas. Money can't buy you happiness. Well, sure it can. Money can help you build happiness. That's for damn sure. Okay. I mean, happiness comes from within anyway. All right. When you have that contentment already in your life, whether money's there or not, whether the love relationship is there or not, whatever it is, when you decide to just feel good and happy with your life right now, knowing that that very thing is going to lead you to a better life, lead you to better circumstances and experiences, better manifestations, more of what you want, then you can easily and calmly and happily get out of the way of it. And let the universe take care of that, because it'll see. It's like your GPS system. I always say this to my clients too. It's like your GPS system up there in the sky. It can see much further down the road than you can from down here on the ground, you see. So allow your GPS system to take you to where you want to be going. So you just set your destination with your intention. I want more abundance. I want more security. I want more freedom. And I believe this will come through money. So I'm going to make friends with money. I'm going to love money. And even if I find a penny on the ground, I put that in my pocket. I don't care how stupid I look when I just stoop down and pick up a damn penny every time I see a penny. And then I see pennies all day long. I just put it in my pocket. By the end of the day, I've got, sometimes $1. I'll find quarters and nickels and dimes, a couple of dollars even in my pocket. And I have a little jar and I put it all in there and I just save it. And I'm like, here, go hang out with your buddies, all the other coins that I found. Okay. To me, it's money. All right. And that's how I show my respect and my love for it. So anyway, it was a little bit of rambling there and I got off topic a little bit, but I hope that helps you guys just to understand some very basic principles. There's a lot more to say about money, and maybe I'll do individual videos expanding on some of these individual points a little bit more, and other ideas about money. There's a lot to talk about, but really, guys, I think money, when it comes, everything is easy to manifest, okay? But money is probably one of the easiest things to manifest, all right? It really, you'll be surprised at just how simple and how easy it is and how money can suddenly just flow from all different directions, okay? And the same goes for love. The same goes for your love relationships and anything that you want to manifest. Keep practicing and affirming to yourself that this stuff is easy. It's easy to get money. Money is a renewable resource. I love money and money loves me. I am a money magnet. It can't stay away from me. Literally, it cannot stay away from me. You can apply that to your specific person, to good health, to whatever it is that you desire and want. Because remember, and this is another manifesting principle, not so much a money principle, but what you want wants you. What you seek is also seeking you. That's a big, big principle of manifesting, okay? And that's a good one to start practicing, all right? So that you begin believing better things about yourself, better things about your ability to manifest, and better things about your ability to manifest money. All right, guys? So I hope that's helped you guys. I hope that was clear enough. I don't usually do these listicle things. because I do kind of have one of those nuts where I, kind of go off on a tangent. So hopefully it wasn't too chaotic for you. But you can let me know in the comments one way or the other. I appreciate your comments always. I appreciate your subscriptions and your likes. And if you haven't done so already, please do that now. Please share these videos with anybody that you think would benefit from them. If you want to leave me some money, you can do so down below in the description box. There's a Cash App link and a PayPal link, both for those of you that prefer one over the other. If you want some coaching with me, you can find the link for that down below as well in the description box. That'll send you to my website, and that'll explain things a little bit further. Okay? So appreciate it again, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, I am, of course, Tarkan, and happy manifesting, and bye-bye.